A very marvelous afternoon, Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my profound privilege to welcome you all to the National Science Day 2026, organized by the NCSTC Division, Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, and the Indian National Science Academy. We are deeply honored to have the gracious presence of Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology today, along with our distinguished dignitaries, Professor Shekhar Mande, Professor Abhay Karandikar, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, and Dr. Rashmi Sharma. राष्ट्रीय विज्ञान दिवस 2026 का विषय है विज्ञान के क्षेत्र में महिलाएं, विकसित भारत की प्रेरक शक्ति। आज हम इस विषय पर उत्सव मनाते हुए ये स्मरण करते हैं कि भारत में वैदिक काल से ही ज्ञान की साधना में महिलाओं की समृद्ध परंपरा रही है। घोषा और लोपा मुद्रा से लेकर सुलभा, मैत्रेयी तथा गार्गी जैसी ओजस्वी महिलाओं ने बौद्धिक जिज्ञासा और ज्ञान विमर्श के अग्रभाग में स्थान ग्रहण किया है। आज हम इस कालातीत विरासत का सम्मान करते हैं और महिलाओं को निरंतर विज्ञान के क्षेत्र में अग्रसर करने का संकल्प लेते हैं। We now proceed with the ceremonial welcome by presenting potted plants to our distinguished dignitaries. May I request Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, to present a potted plant to the Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh ji as a mark of our warm welcome and deep respect. May I invite Dr. Rashmi Sharma to present a potted plant to Dr. Shekhar Mande, President, Indian National Science Academy. I request ma'am to kindly present a potted plant to Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology. I again request Dr. Rashmi Sharma to present a potted plant to Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology. Finally, may I request Shri Rajendra Singh ji to present a potted plant to Dr. Rashmi Sharma, Head NCSTC, Department of Science and Technology. Thank you all for this gracious gesture symbolizing growth and harmony. I now have the honor to invite Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you very much. Honorable Union Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, President of Indian National Science Academy, Dr. Shekhar Mande, my fellow colleague, Secretary Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Dr. Rashmi Sharma, other distinguished guests who are present here. Let me first of all extend a warm welcome to everyone gathered here for the inaugural ceremony of the National Science Day 2026. As you know that National Science Day is celebrated each year on 20th February to commemorate the discovery of Raman effect by Sir C.V. Raman. This year we are doing this function on 2 days, today and tomorrow. Tomorrow we have organized the lectures, National Science Day lectures by three eminent personalities who have received the Padma Shri in Science and Engineering this year. Dr. Shubha Iyengar, Dr. Balasubramaniam, and Shashi Shekhar Vempati. Uh, so these lectures will be held, tomorrow. This year's theme, that is Women in Science Catalyzing Viksit Bharat, reflects our vision of becoming a developed nation by 2047, where the women will play an important role in science and technology growth. As you know that the Department of Science and Technology has been at the forefront of increasing the participation of women in the STEM field. In fact, we were the first to sort of launch several programs for women in science, including in the form of flagship programs like the Vice Kiran, Vigyan Jyoti, and even the Curie program for supporting the woman-centric institutions. Similarly, I think we have been inculcating the spirit of scientific temperament among the school students through our programs such as Inspire Manak, and together with the children and the women, we have been able to make that programmatic interventions for having this gender equity. Uh, uh, as you know that in the last several years, Ministry of Science and Technology has launched several mission mode programs, policy initiatives, and the establishment of some institutional frameworks like Anusandhan National Research Foundation and the Research Development and Innovation Fund. All these institutional framework is now laying the foundation for a strong science and technology innovation ecosystem, and the National Science Day may be the day to not only celebrate our achievements in all these years, but rededicate ourselves to the entire scientific ecosystem to make it to be a fulcrum of Viksit Bharat goal. Once again, I would like to extend a heartfelt welcome to all of you. It is indeed my pleasure to have you all here as we embark on our promises of a inclusive and science and technology driven innovation ecosystem. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words and for setting the tone for today's National Science Day inauguration. I now invite Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, to kindly deliver his remarks.
Honorable Minister of State of Independent Charge Ministry of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Dr. Abhay Karandikar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Shekhar Mande, President, India National Science Academy, Dr. Rashmi Mishra, dignitaries of the dais, scientists and technocrats, ladies and gentlemen, namaskar and good afternoon to all of you. I think as Secretary DST said, we've gathered here today on this wonderful occasion of celebrating National Science Day program, which is obviously due to the milestone scientific discovery of Raman effect, which earned him the Nobel Prize. First of all, I extend my warm greetings from Department of Biotechnology to all of you on this wonderful occasion that we all are celebrating here today. I think knowledge has always been seen as a transformative wedge of from the beginning of Indian traditional science as well, actually, right now. So, for example, I always remember the in my school emblem, they used to be like Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, which is from darkness to the light, actually has been always reminded me of how Indian tradition activities have always given up this futuristic goal of moving from the science, it, moving from the ignorance to illumination. And Raman discovery is a shining example of this spirit. Therefore, I would like to highlight two couple of important takeaways from this discovery in the present context. I think many breakthroughs happen because of the challenges because you challenge the accepted beliefs actually, and Raman effect also got overturned from the idea that sea is blue simply due to the sky reflection, if you remember that actually. And I think that motivated him to go and identify and carry forward these discovery activities which led to the discovery of Raman effect. If you really look at from an Indian today's context, Indian science has a strong infrastructure and has a globally competitive resources in various domains and areas, as also talked about by Secretary DST. Actually, the only challenge that we have, in fact, I believe, is that are we thinking of bold decisions? Are we doing away from the ensuing mode to the transformative mode of doing science? And I think that's where the departments and ministries has to actually ensure that we actually come up with programs and ideas and modes in which you can actually catalyze these activities. ANRF, as you know, is one of the transformative solutions that we have been working together with all towards this progress. Department of Biotechnology has also launched a BioE3 program, a policy to foster biomanufacturing. And this policy seeks to reimagine how food, health, fuel, and environment through biology using living systems as factories would do for the sustainable living future. The question that we are asking is not incremental, but of transformative nature. And some of these will provide high value technologies and products with strong social impact. I mean, some of the questions I would highlight actually, for example, can we have milk without cows? Can we have fuels without crude oil? Can we have meat without slaughter? Or medicines tailored to an individual enzymes or chronic diseases that are cured rather than managed? Or can we do space experiments? And some of these we have already started. As some of you might have noted, yesterday's at the meeting between our Prime Minister and the Israel Prime Minister, actually, they in fact showcased the milk production without the cows there, actually, which was also highlighted by our embassy in Israel. I think if you may not know, it's in fact all the technology part was developed in India now, of making the whey protein and making milk now, and it's been showcased in the other countries as well. So I think you can see that we have enormous opportunities and we have enormous capabilities that are of highest standards, and therefore our futuristic dreams should get aligned in an integrated manner such that we actually carry out collaborative research. And that's the second point that I want to put together actually, is that the interdisciplinarity and the collaborative nature of science is actually driving us to become more and more integrated in our ways that we function. And I think this is very important. As you would imagine, Raman effect itself came in 28. However, only after discovery of laser or other aspects of technological prowess that the Raman effect really got implemented across various in the various areas of medical sciences and activities that are of very important natures. The transformation for interdisciplinarity and the collaborative science, I think, should begin at the PhD level itself. Unfortunately, PhD theses, which are of singular nature, drives you to think that science has to be done in a single person individual mode. And I personally believe that that's one transformative step that one needs to take given the scenarios of the present day science that we are talking about, bringing science to society and to people. And I think that's where Department of Biotechnology has also come up with a program called I3C, which is BRIC RCB PhD program, where ideate, immerse, innovate, and collaborate are the kind of basal level of decision making, where all the students actually work together on a collaborative research programs that allows them to go away from their single PI silos and preparing them from the collaborative global science perspective. And I think our vision from Department of Biotechnology is that can India be the preferred destination for biotechnology research in the country? Before I conclude, I also would like to touch upon the Women in Science Catalysing Viksit Bharat activity. I personally believe that the talent, dreams, and aspirations have no gender, and therefore there is absolutely no reason why women should not be given more bold, more capabilities and more benefits to ensure that they become successful in life. In fact, the bold transformations within the removal of structural barriers, we should actually attempt to do it as fast as possible and bring them to the next possible scenario. I think we should push boundaries and create ecosystems that support women to scale heights in science and pursue leadership roles. In this, if I recollect, actually, most of the teachers in my school and science teachers were in fact women teachers, and in fact, I give my gratitude to them on this wonderful day as a part of National Science Day, because they are the one who instilled inspiration in all of us. And I think many of you would have had women teachers from your own ways of looking at it. And I, I think the love for science really came from this formative years. And I think I need to thank them, all of you again. And thank you very much for all of you for joining.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful remarks and also highlighting the interdisciplinary nature of science. May I now invite Professor Shekhar Mande, President, Indian National Science Academy, to kindly address the gathering.
सभी को नमस्कार। मंच पर उपस्थित माननीय मंत्री महोदय डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी, मंच पर उपस्थित भारत सरकार के सचिव प्रोफेसर अभय करंदीकर, डॉक्टर राजेश गोखले, मंच पर उपस्थित NCSTC निदेशक महोदया डॉक्टर रश्मि शर्मा, इस सभागृह में उपस्थित सभी महानुभाव, राष्ट्रीय विज्ञान दिवस 2026 में भारतीय विज्ञान अकादमी और विज्ञान भारती दोनों संस्थाओं की ओर से मैं आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं और आप सभी को हार्दिक अभिनंदन कि इसे हम मनाने जा रहे हैं। जैसे कि मेरे पहले के दोनों वक्ताओं ने कहा कि इस वर्ष की जो फोकल थीम है, जो वुमेन इन साइंस कैटलाइजिंग विकसित भारत, इसे हम लोग माननीय मंत्री डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी मार्गदर्शन में इसे इस वर्ष हम लोग मना रहे हैं। प्रोफेसर अभय करंदीकर और डॉक्टर राजेश गोखले ने आपको जैसे कि बताया कि 1928 में सर CV रामन ने एक खोज की थी जिसे उन्होंने ए न्यू टाइप ऑफ सेकेंडरी रेडिएशन कहा था। उन्होंने जो पर्ची छपवाई थी, नेचर करके एक जो मैगजीन है उसमें, उसका टाइटल ये था कि न्यू टाइप ऑफ सेकेंडरी रेडिएशन, लेकिन आज जिसे हम लोग रामन इफेक्ट से नाम से जानते हैं। और इस खोज की काफ़ी सारी पहलुआँ हैं, सिर्फ एक बहुत ही अच्छी खोज नहीं, लेकिन उसके अलावा हम लोग ये भी जानते हैं कि CV रमन जी को एक औपचारिक तरीके से विज्ञान में कोई ट्रेनिंग नहीं थी। आज जिसे हम लोग वैज्ञानिक होने के लिए कहते हैं कि MSc करो, PhD करो, फिर कुछ वर्ष आप पोस्ट डॉक करो, फिर एक बहुत औपचारिक तरीके से हम लोग वैज्ञानिकों को जो तैयार करते हैं, ये CV रमन जी को ऐसी कोई तैयारी उन्होंने नहीं की थी। ये एक पहलू था। दूसरा पहलू ये था कि CV रमन जी के मन में जो उत्सुकताएं थी, जो जिज्ञासा थी, जैसे कि राजेश गोखले जी ने आपको बताया कि क्या आसमान का रंग नीला क्यों है, ये एक साहजिक क्वेश्चन आपके मन में जो आया था और उस क्वेश्चन को उन्होंने जिस तरह से एक्सपेरिमेंट सेटअप करके उसका उत्तर ढूंढ के निकाला था, वो एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन तरीका विज्ञान करने का था और जिसकी वजह से आपको नोबेल पारितोषिक 1930 में मिला था। और तीसरा पहलू ये भी है कि जिस संस्था में CV रामन जी ने काम किया, जिसे हम लोग इंडियन एसोसिएशन ऑफ कल्टीवेशन ऑफ साइंस कहते हैं, जिसके इस वर्ष हम लोग 150 वर्ष मनाया जा रहे हैं। इंडियन एसोसिएशन ऑफ कल्टीवेशन साइंस की स्थापना जो हुई थी, एक बहुत ही स्वदेशी भावना से हुई थी उस वक्त, क्योंकि हालांकि भारत में 3-4 विश्वविद्यालय स्थापित हो चुके थे, जैसे कि कलकत्ता विश्वविद्यालय हो, मुंबई का विश्वविद्यालय हो, मद्रास का विश्वविद्यालय हो, लेकिन उन विश्वविद्यालयों का मुख्य उद्देश्य ये था कि वो ब्रिटिश सरकार के लिए कुछ और लोग तैयार करें, वो सरकार को सामने ले जाने के लिए। लेकिन एक भारतीय भावना से, स्वदेशी भावना से महेंद्रलाल सरकार जी ने इंडियन एसोसिएशन ऑफ कल्टीवेशन की स्थापना की थी और वहाँ पे CV रामन जी ने अपना काम पूरा किया और जिसकी वजह से आपको नोबेल पारितोषिक से पुरस्कृत किया गया था। तो इस पार्श्वभूमि में हर साल हम लोग राष्ट्रीय विज्ञान दिवस को मनाते आ रहे हैं। फरवरी 28 को हर वर्ष करते हैं और हमारा सौभाग्य है कि माननीय मंत्री महोदय का हमें सतत मार्गदर्शन मिला है गए कई वर्षों से इसे मनाने के लिए। और मैं पुनः आप सभी लोगों का यहाँ पे हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूँ, आप सभी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for your thoughtful insights. We now move to a significant segment of today's program, the releases and felicitation ceremony, marking the unveiling of key initiatives and knowledge resources that reflect India's advancing scientific vision. To proceed with the first launch, Hydrogen Valley Innovation Cluster, I request Dr. Anita Gupta, Scientist G, Advisor and Head, CEST DST, and Dr. Ranjit Krishna Pai, Scientist F and Program Officer, HVIC, to kindly come up on stage. India marks a major milestone in India's clean energy journey with the launch of Hydrogen Valley Innovation Cluster. I now request Honorable Minister to kindly launch the Hydrogen Valley Innovation Cluster. Four Hydrogen Valley foundations are being launched under this initiative. From Pune Hydrogen Valley, I call upon stage Dr. Ashok Lele, Lead PI and Director NCL Pune, and Dr. Vishnu Budama, CEO, for felicitation. I request the Honorable Minister to please felicitate the representatives. From Odisha Hydrogen Valley Foundation, I call upon stage Professor Saroj Kumar Nayak, Lead PI and Professor IIT Bhubaneswar, and Dr. Prashant Kumar Singh, CEO, for felicitation. From Jodhpur Hydrogen Valley Innovation Foundation, I call upon stage Professor Pradeep K. Tiwari, Lead PI and Professor IIT Jodhpur, and Dr. Prashant Kumar Gupta, Assistant Professor IIT Jodhpur, for felicitation. From Kerala HVIC Foundation, I call upon stage Shri Harshal R. Meena, IAS and CEO, for felicitation. Thank you, Honorable Minister and dear representatives. We now proceed with the launch of ANRF Plus Venture Center Outreach Initiative, and I call upon stage Dr. Shiv Kumar Kalyanaraman, CEO, Anusandhan National Research Foundation, and Dr. Mugdha Lele, Head, Social Innovation and Innovation Management, Venture Center. I now request Honorable Minister to kindly launch the ANRF Plus Venture Center Outreach Initiative. As a part of its outreach strategy, ANRF now collaborates with Venture Center and aims in strengthening IP awareness and translational research, guidance on IP strategy, ownership, licensing and commercialization, structured expert support and curated knowledge resources, enabling deep science to innovation outcomes, and aligned with mission-driven research goals. May I request the technical team to please play the video.
Growing community of funded researchers and early career innovators. Yet many face crucial questions. How do you protect intellectual property? Who owns the IP? How do licensing and agreements work? How do you manage innovation strategically or take research from lab to market? The ANRF Plus Venture Center Outreach Initiative is built to bridge this gap. Powered by Venture Center under the ANRF Plus framework, it focuses on strengthening awareness, capability, and confidence around patent filing, IP strategy, and innovation management.
Participants gain structured access to experts and curated knowledge. You can write to the online help desk for clarity on patent filing, IP ownership, agreements, and licensing. You can attend one-on-one IP clinics to assess patentability and filing pathways. You can also access curated webinars under the Only One Theme series by techx.in to deepen your understanding of protecting and managing innovations.
Designed for ANRF awardees, former grantees of SERB programs, faculty members, research scholars, and innovators across recognized Indian academic institutions, this initiative equips you with clarity and confidence. It helps you safeguard your ideas, make informed IP decisions, and take charge of your innovation journey, ensuring that your research secures both recognition and real-world impact.
Thank you to the representatives and Honorable Minister. We now proceed with the release of Mission Innovation India report, and I call upon stage Dr. Anita Gupta, Scientist G, Advisor and Head, CEST DST, Dr. Vineet Saini, Scientist and Associate Head, CEST DST, Dr. Neelima Alam, Associate Head, CEST DST, and Dr. Pradyut Kole, CEST DST. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for the release. We now move ahead for the release of the book on Indigenous Architecture of Northeast India. To proceed with this release, may I invite Professor Shivaji from Indian Institute of Technology, Hyderabad, Dr. Rashmi Sharma, Head, NCSTC DST, and Dr. Akhilesh Mishra, Scientist F, Shri Cell DST, to kindly come up on stage. This publication presents a comparative documentation of vernacular architectural traditions across the region developed under a DST-funded digital heritage project. It combines field-based research with advanced digital techniques to analyze and preserve climate-responsive design, material wisdom, and community knowledge embedded in these structures. The book highlights indigenous architecture as a valuable knowledge system for contemporary, sustainable, and climate-resilient design. A big round of applause for the release. May I request the technical team to please play the video. We now proceed to the DST-supported copper-doped nano-titania technology transfer to Rebuild Technology Services Private Limited, marking a significant step in translating research into societal application. For the technology transfer, I call upon stage from CSIR CBRI Roorkee, Dr. S.K. Panigrahi, Dr. Srinivas Rao Nayak, Dr. Debadatta Ghosh, Ms. Shweta Singh, Dr. Saju Alexander. From Rebuild Technology Services Private Limited, I call upon stage Ganesh A. Swar, Managing Director, Sebastian Fernandez, Srinivas Patil, Deepak Pathak, and Neeraj Singh. From DST, I call upon stage Dr. Rashmi Sharma and Dr. Akhilesh Mishra. May I request the dignitaries and representatives to kindly formalize the technology transfer. Thank you, representatives and Honorable Minister. On the auspicious occasion of National Science Day 2026, we now move forward with the announcement of Engage with Science program, a visionary initiative by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication under Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. May I request the technical team to please play the video.
India is deeply committed to nurturing scientific curiosity and empowering young minds.
Science is the foundation of a self-reliant nation. It fuels innovation, strengthens the economy, and shapes a future built on knowledge, capability, and confidence. On National Science Day 2026, India builds upon a decade-long commitment to nurturing scientific temper and turns its focus decisively to the earliest stages of learning. Introducing the Engage with Science program, a visionary initiative by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. Designed for students of classes 8 and 9, aged 13 to 15, this one-week residential program opens the doors of DST's premier research institutions to young minds at a stage where curiosity begins to shape lifelong aspirations. Here, science moves beyond textbooks. Students engage directly with discovery through hands-on experiments, interactive hands-on training, in-house research training, and community outreach. They begin to understand how research and development drives technological progress, economic growth, and national advancement. The program spans 7 critical scientific domains: material science, biological sciences, astronomy and astrophysics, medical technology, indigenous knowledge systems, mathematics and computational sciences, and earth and atmospheric sciences, reflecting both cutting-edge research and India's unique scientific heritage. Implementation will be anchored across 16 autonomous institutions of the Department of Science and Technology, offering world-class laboratories, mentorship, and exposure. Through a dedicated online portal, students will be able to choose their preferred theme or institute, ensuring access, inclusion, and personalized learning. Equal opportunity, early encouragement, and mentorship will ensure that every capable mind, including young girls with scientific promise, finds space to grow. As participants return to their communities, they will carry more than knowledge. They will carry confidence, curiosity, and the spirit of inquiry, emerging as young scientific ambassadors for India. The Engage with Science program is not merely an educational initiative. It is an investment in early capacity building, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and in a scientifically empowered Viksit Bharat. Because when young minds engage with science, the nation moves forward with purpose, precision, and progress.
I once again thank the Honorable Minister and esteemed dignitaries for unveiling these forward-looking initiatives. We now come to the most awaited moment of this August gathering. It is my profound privilege to now invite the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, to kindly address the gathering.
On the dais, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Professor Abhay, Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Dr. Shekhar Mande, who's wearing more than one hat, including the President of INSA now, Dr. Rashmi Sharma, I can see Dr. Kalyan Raman, Shiv Prakash ji, other members of the faculty, directors of some of the institutes, ladies and gentlemen. I think much has been already said about why we are gathered over here this afternoon, because the National Science Day happens to be tomorrow, but somehow many of us were engaged in some other activities, so we are actually observing it on the eve of National Science Day, as has been told to you speaker after speaker, that this is meant to commemorate the Raman effect. And Dr. Mande made a point that he was never a formal student of science, and I think that carries a lot of meaning. In fact, to complete the other half of the sentence, he was a civil servant. So you can understand. He had actually appeared for the civil service exam and qualified in the accounts, I believe, and was posted in Calcutta, now known as Kolkata, and that's how his association and the rendezvous with science began. And the institute, which is of course now observing 100 years of its existence, is the one where Dr. Raman worked, and later on Dr. Sama Prasad Mukherjee taught. So that's another very pleasant coincidence of history. And I'm glad that the Historic Institute is now observing 100 years of its existence. They have established a convention of having a theme every year, and the theme this year, as was told, was Women in Science, Catalysing Viksit Bharat. And I think that's also because it's very much in keeping with the tone and tenor of this government, and Prime Minister Modi has been reiterating time and again that in the making of Viksit Bharat, it would be mandatory to have the contribution of each and every citizen depending on his and her contributions. And when we talk of women, we no longer rejoice in citing solitary or occasionally examples like Kalpana Chawla or Seema Chatterjee. You just look around, you have Kalpana sitting even in this room and Seema sitting in that corner. So there are plenty of them around. In fact, we have so many of women-led projects. The other day I was saying now we should be actually having a resident course, as he has mentioned, for males to be mentally prepared to be led by women. So it's the other way around, and that's a very happy development. And in fact, that is a part of the nationwide phenomena that we are witnessing today, both in the scientific as well as the non-scientific field, since I have the opportunity to deal with 6-7 departments. In the civil services, for the last so many years, we are getting toppers only from girls. So it seems as if the first 3 positions have been reserved for women. Even this year, we had 3 toppers who were girls. And when you don't have 3 toppers, at least 1 or 2 of the first 3. Last year, we had 2 toppers among the 3. Then there was one span of time, I think 2014, 15, 16, consecutively 3 toppers of, I think, I vividly remember, I think the first time it was Ira Sehgal, then it was Tina Dabi from Delhi, then Then there was Nandini from Bengaluru. And then fourth year, that was a boy from Hyderabad. I said, you've broken the jinx, otherwise everybody had got used to only having. So I don't think now this is anyway very relevant. In fact, even in the scientific fields, we have some of the very important projects. Aditya are very ambitious. The first of its kind solar space project is led by Najar, which is, she's again a Tamilian leading the project. Even Chandrayaan 3 was, the second director was Kalpana. So, and in fact, that is also coinciding with the rise in the aspiration level in general among youth. And since I try to engage with these youngsters every day, because that is where you learn from, I have noticed that among the Gen Z, the aspiration level generally is higher, but is higher among the girls than the boys. And I'll just, because all of us belong to the evidence-based science academics, so I'll just give you two examples. That day, me and Rajesh were together in the Dholpur High School for girls, a government high school. And one of the girls rose up and congratulated us about a scheme which Dr. Abhay was just now talking, Vigyan Jyoti. She said, it's a beautiful scheme. I know how many girls in Delhi are aware of it. That also proves the point that the tier 2, tier 3 cities are equally now well informed because of the gadget that you carry in your pocket. So she said, I want to compliment you for this Vigyan Jyoti scheme, but I have a complaint. And the complaint is that I am class 8 and the scheme is applicable from class 9. So the same day I came back and spoke to Dr. Abhay. He said we may be having some other constraint for which we had to limit it to that. So that is the level of aspiration. Then the other day there was a girl from one of the most violence infested districts of the country, and coming from a very low economic strata. She had cleared her IIT. So I called her over also. Usually that's the passion that I work upon. So I told her, I said, Beta, tumne to kamal kar diya. You come from a place where there's no coaching facility, a very small town, and that too violence around, and not financially affordable to get a very elite coaching. And look at the confidence of the girl. She was just class 12 girl. She takes out a mobile from her pocket and shows me, uncle, 14 hours, 8 months, IIT crack. So what we are doing in Anusandhan National Research Foundation, she summed up in single sentence, gave me the mantra of clearing IIT. So with this kind of, I think this proves that in this country, particularly in the contemporary times, there has never been a dearth of talent or potential or urge. But what was possibly lacking from the point of view was availability of equal opportunities and possibly the appropriate outlets, because the mindset of the society was possibly like that. And therefore, now that we are living up to that dictum of everybody becoming a contributor in the task of nation building, and therefore realizing this, the process in the last 10 years began for more and more democratization of opportunities and sources, providing level playing field to all, and with also a special focus on women and youth, as Prime Minister always say that मैं चार ही वर्ग जानता हूँ, युवा, महिला, गरीब और किसान. And therefore, when we talk of startups also, from 350 to 400, we have now come to more than 2 lakhs, who generated more than 21,000 to 21 lakh jobs. I think what is often not spoken about is, or is understated, is that nearly 50% of these startups are from tier 2 or tier 3 cities, not from Bengaluru, not from Hyderabad, not even from Pune. So that myth that you have to be, belonging to a very high-tech city is also gone out, because that in fact vindicates our efforts to democratize the availability of information, the opportunities. Secondly, I was calculating only last night, I think out of these over 2 lakh startups, 35% to 40% are women-led, which again is a huge volume, considering where we were. So the entire startup movement which is picked up in this country in the last half a decade is being spearheaded, A, by tier 2, tier 3 cities, and B, to a great extent being contributed by women. So it's no longer what it was. And therefore, the strategy technically has been to have focused initiatives with women, for women, which is being partly spelled out by Professor Abe, to give them re-entry opportunities. We're very cautious because some of them have to break their career for social reasons, for family reasons. 3, to provide institutional reforms which are capable of providing a level playing field. And 4th, of course, the level leadership development avenues. As Professor Abe said, we have this women scientists scheme, which is WOSAC. I'm not going into detail about that because this is an informed audience. We have the very fascinating scheme called Curie, which is particularly focusing on the women colleges, women universities. We already enrolled 11. And I think that has also created a buzz in the sense that only recently I had the opportunity to visit in Pune. The Symbiosis have started the first ever, I think, women medical college. So I was asking, I said, I have not heard of a medical college, it's only for women. You heard of degree college. So this means that this thought process is now prompting others as well. Similarly, we have this, and then the Curie has different components, artificial intelligence, etc. Then for overseas fellowships, women in STEM, that's another initiative. Well, of course, we have the web of also there, which is applicable to both males and females. Then we have the Gati, which is gender advancement for transforming institutions, Women International Grant Sport, and of course, Vigyan Jyoti. I think because that was, I was always keen that you have to catch them young because at the adolescent age, this is where the entire, by default, the mess is created by the parents because they don't have that kind of exposure. They push you into all sorts of coaching centers. And the other day in the AI summit, Mr. Altman began his lecture saying, the first lesson that a youngster should learn is not to listen to the older people. But however, I will not be that outrageous or unorthodox, but I would say that you can listen to older people rather critically. I would not ask you to be disobedient and not be also keeping with the sanskara, and there are many good things because they are guiding you with a noble thought. But what happens is that they are not exposed to what you are talking about. So if you go and tell them that you are into a startup thing. So nowadays we have started and we have done practice that also. Each of our startup conclaves, we insist on having one session where the youngster is to be accompanied with at least one parent or a guardian, so that, and the guardian knows that he can make more money out of this project compared to the government salary, then that is the best way to hook him. Not the philosophy of research or innovation, but that of the profitability and the career sustainability. And you would recall that other avenues also available are equally available to women. I think even in this year itself, and even the third term of the government, even this year, soon after Prime Minister moved over to his new office in the Seva Tirth Bhavan, the first 3 files that he signed, one of them pertained to the 10,000 crore fund of funds for deep tech startups. You can understand how much is the priority on that pious occasion or ceremonial occasion when the Prime Minister was to sign the first 3 files. That was one which was presented before him. And of course, the RDI fund you already know of. Even in CSIR, only about 3 weeks back, we have relaxed that condition of having 3 years of minimum sustainability for a startup to claim funding because for deep tech, because I thought we should be able to give them that risk-taking margin and take it upon ourselves. And now this government, of course, is very open to the private participation also. We also opened the nuclear sector, which I think it was the ultimate. So I'm sure this collaboration also will grow both in scale and in quality. And among the today's releases, I have to particularly mention the ANRF Venture Center. Thank you, Dr. Kalyan. Actually, I am in the habit of making random calls to all these officers without caring for the protocol. So, and they are very generous, at least apparently they never express their displeasure. So, late in the night, I called up Dr. Kalyan and I said 2 observations today because I also have that urge to pick up some. I said I've been approached by 2 groups of boys who apparently seem to be very talented, but they said we have difficulties in filing patent because so much of complexity is involved. So, So he said, we are going to organize workshops. I said, but now, given the times that we live in, can we have a real-time online thing? And I'm glad that this National Science Day is going to feature this importantly, that this is going to be a great, great relief for the youngsters. And very interesting things happening. Dr. Rajesh Gokhale was saying, can you have milk without a cow or a buffalo or a cow? Not buffalo. Anyway, so neither cow nor buffalo. But the other question is, like, can you have mutton without a goat? And can you have a chicken kebab without chicken? And that's actually started happening. In Thiruvananthapuram, they started producing mutton, which is without a goat. And I was interested to find out where is the market, because in India this trend is yet to pick up. We still don't have that flavor of. So I was told that they have the clients mostly overseas, which means in the European countries, mostly Central Europe, this is already received takers. So these groups of startups who are now graduated entrepreneurships have found a new avenue. And I think one of the other releases today was also related to the Shri initiative, which is Science and Heritage Research initiative, that compilation of Northeast. So we are trying to live up to the national priorities, at the same time also trying to work for the equitable participation of all sections of society, including women. And I hope, truly hope, that this would be the last time that we would have to coin a theme dedicated to women. Because the women will themselves say, no longer we need this theme. We are already overcome this. We've already moved on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, sir, for your inspiring and forward-looking address. And your address reminds me of this sukta from Yajurved, Brahmacharinya Kanyascharanto Vindante Vidyam, which means a girl should be brought up and educated with great effort and care, becoming a scholar of all subjects. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, once again. To conclude today's inaugural, I now invite Dr. Rashmi Sharma, Head NCSTC DST, to kindly propose the word of thanks.
Sabhi ko namaskar. It was truly an amazing inaugural session covering the entire spectrum of science, technology and innovation ecosystem, from nurturing scientific temper among students, milestones in India's clean journey with hydrogen valley clusters, dedicating the technology for heritage protection and documentation of deliberations among experts and lab research. As we have come to the end of the inaugural session of National Science Day, we move forward revitalized, rejuvenated and recharged by the inspiring words of our Honorable Minister, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji. In this spirit, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our Honorable Minister, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, for his unwavering guidance to strengthen the science, technology and innovation ecosystem of our country. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Secretary DBT, Professor Shekhar Mande, President INSA, for their guiding words and gracious presence on this occasion. Your radiant energy and infectious enthusiasm is always motivating for all of us. A special thank to Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary DST. Under your astute leadership, we continue to find inspiration to move forward and constantly strive for excellence. I also extend my deepest appreciation to our friends from the media. Finally, I must thank the colleagues from the ministry. The collective effort of all these organizations is instrumental in driving the vision of Viksit Bharat forward. In the end, I would like to thank my team, NCSTSC Division and Team INSA under the leadership of Dr. Brijesh Pandey for successfully organizing the program. I would request all the participants to join the National Science Day lectures tomorrow at Vigyan Bhavan. Let the spirit of science learning continue, as tomorrow is a Saturday, so I invite you all to participate in that. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you very much.